There was a time when, because I'm used to getting what I want, so when I don't, I get a little grumpy and, wonder why. Don't always get to know why. But a recent example was I was intending to go visit my daughter, and it just wasn't working out. The time, the money, the cost of the tickets, this, that, and the other thing. And I even had my bag packed. That's how sure I was going. Didn't happen. Well, on the day I would have arrived, her and her ma'am both got horribly sick with the flu.
Mm,
Day one of me
mm.
arriving.
See,
So, coincidence, luck, fate? Sure.
right? It's like, okay, got
All
it.
that matters is now I know, and thank you. But yeah, there was a little stress in there,
Mm-hmm.
in the not receiving
Right.
that which I was intending with an open heart. And then but we don't always get to know why. Just like when we
Right.
follow our intuition and the bad thing doesn't happen, we don't know what didn't happen.
Right.
And we have to learn to be good with that.
Yeah. Welcome to Eugene Holden'S Academy of Self-Mastery, where transformation meets action. I'm Eugene Holden. I'm one of your guides on this journey of personal growth, mindset shifts, and deep self-awareness. Each episode, we dive into the tools, wisdom, and strategies you need to break through limitations and step into your highest potential. No fluff, no shortcuts here, just real conversations, practical insights, and a community dedicated to mastery in every area of life. So, if you're ready to unlock your power, elevate your mindset, and create a life by design, then let's get started. Welcome to Eugene Holden'S Academy of Self-Mastery. Welcome to the deep end. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Eugene Holden'S Academy of Self-Mastery. Obviously, I am Eugene, and this is the beautiful genius. My co-host this month is the wonderful Ell Graniel.
Mhm.
And we're just glad that you're tuning in to another one of these beautiful deep dive episodes called
Yeah.
the Academy of Self-Mastery. So, Elle, what would you like to
Yes.
dive into today? No, first of all, how are you?
Ooh, well, thank you. It's so lovely here. So many things to be grateful for. And you and I have talked about this before, just amongst ourselves, how we wake up with a smile on our
Hmm,
face.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it's another one of those days.
Mm,
Thanks for
yeah.
asking.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Um,
Yeah. Just real fast before we get into this, right? As you know, I've been kind of under the weather, as they say,
mhm.
over the last few days. And what my body tends to do, like probably a lot of people, just wants to sleep, right? But
Yes.
even in that sleeping, in the coughing and all, but I will still find myself waking up with a smile.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, whatever. So anyway,
I'm happy to hear that.
me too. And I think that helps with the healing process as well. At least
Yes.
that's what I want to believe. No, that's what I do believe.
hmm And
Anyway,
and believe, right? Live. You live that because
yeah,
we do know, and it's a proven fact, that happiness has a higher vibration. And so sickness, illness, disease can't, it's a non-matching vibration.
right.
So even if you're under the weather, the more you keep smiling, the less it can
Yeah,
stay. It
yeah,
has to pass.
yeah. Science. This is science, folks. Fact.
Science.
Weird science. Now, what would you like to discuss today, my friend?
Ooh, so I was telling you about how very often people will say to me, "You're so lucky." And I politely say, "Thank you." And yet in my head, I also know that I have created everything that I have that is magnificent, glorious, wonderful, and fine. A lot of it through thought, right? Intention, manifestation, faith, hope, a whole litany of positive, high vibrational actions. And so where I live is beautiful, and I was drawn to live here, and I was willing to give everything up.
Mm.
18 years of, living in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii, family, friends, and come to a place that I've never lived before, don't speak the language, don't know a soul. And now, 4.5 years later, people go, "Oh, you're so lucky." Yet in the beginning, they were like, "What's wrong with you? Are you
Mm.
crazy?"
Mm.
So they didn't see it as lucky when I was making that decision at that time.
So you
And
was
now that I'm
crazy.
here, they're calling it lucky.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they call an overnight success. There's no such thing.
Right.
No such thing.
Right.
It's all in the making. And so it's important for people to understand that if you think you're unlucky, it's because you think you're unlucky.
Mm.
And you can say, but my life proves it. I pick poor relationships. My job's not rewarding this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, okay. So how do you want to change? What do you want to change? What are some steps, right? So that you're not stuck. And once you start to, well, here's the neuroscience. We have a part of our brain that's called the reticular activator,
Mm-hmm.
because those 11 million bits of information per second that gets brought in 24/7, only so much can stay with us consciously. So the reticular activator, we tell it what we care about. So if we care about how much we hate our job, we get more of how much we hate our job. Our job is worse. Our job has long hours. Our job has terrible leadership. We get more of that. Now, we can't lie in the beginning and say, "I love my job," because your brain will say, "Who are you talking about? We've been here 10 years. It sucks." So that's too big of a leap for the plate, right? The reticular activator. So what you can do is simply stop affirming everything that you don't like. Catch yourself when you say, "This leadership is non-existent," and say, "Well, I wish there were better leadership."
Mm-hmm.
Small baby step.
Right.
And so that's how luck actually works. You start thinking about more of what you want, how to get it, and who can help you. Those great questions. What do I want? How do I get there? Who can help me? And so, just one of a gazillion stories. And this story is old and I love it. Um, so, in my 30s, I was a lot less responsible. And my daughter at the time was maybe 5. We wanted to go see Sesame Street on ice. And so mom didn't get tickets until the day we were going to go. Yeah, we're going Saturday. Yay. Okay, on Saturday, there's no tickets. They're all sold out. And so I'm just pondering, instead of going, "Oh, you're such a loser," when you know, no, no, anything, I set my vibration high and I said, "Okay, how can I get there?" And nothing was coming to my mind. Like, no, I knew what I wanted, 2 tickets. How can I get there? I have no idea.
Mm.
Who can help me? I have no idea. Okay, well, I'm going to turn it over to God, right? Let the universe take care of this for me. And so I kept positive all day. We were in the grocery store together, she and I. And a lady taps me on the back, and I turn around and she says, "By chance, would you and your daughter be free tonight to go to Sesame Street on ice? I have two
Sheesh.
tickets. My granddaughter's sick."
Sheesh.
And I almost start crying with joy, right? Yet at the same time,
Right.
of course, because my life has been that way since I started working on it in like my mid 20s. Point of the story is she also wouldn't let me pay for them.
Mm.
So I got them free, great tickets. We went. Nobody knew that I didn't have tickets.
Wow.
Even my daughter's too young then to put together, like,
Right.
just as you just don't even think that. You just know you're going when you're a kid. So tons of stories like that happen regularly, and you do this too. We
Yeah.
call it different things. My friend calls it rock star parking. I
Mm-hmm.
call it parking karma,
Mm-hmm.
where you can go anywhere and cars almost crash trying to leave their spots so you can so you can have one. That's a vibrational, karmic, maybe intentional thing that people pick up on and want to be a part of.
Yeah. Uh, is the reticular activator?
Yes,
So isn't that that same thing that where I want to buy a new SUV, a Toyota Ford 4Runner, and then I start seeing them everywhere that I go. Is that a part of
100%.
yeah, yeah,
It's exactly that.
yeah,
And it's funny because like now we'll probably get SUV ads because of the listening that goes on,
right,
right? And so then people will go, when they see the ads on their computer or their phone, they go, get out of my head. Well, it got out of your head,
right,
and that's how it's happening,
right,
right? And so it's not just enough to think about that you want an SUV. You want to start thinking about the details and what are
right,
the costs and what are some areas where I can cut some fat and I could have that car, and
right.
instead of going never for me. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
lucky enough to ever have something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And on the other side, not just to say this is what I want and even give it the detail, but then sit back and do nothing.
like the tickets.
Well, you didn't do, isn't that you did nothing? You kept your vibration there.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that kind of threw that one out the window. Thank you, Elle.
And that's 11th hour sometimes.
Yeah,
I've had many situations where I used to fly standby and you don't always get on
right,
the plane, right? And there have been times when they say we're done. And so that's 11th hour. They tell everybody go home. And I know that until they close that door, I could still get on.
right.
And so that faith, not always, but often, one person traveling got me on flights where everybody else had walked away because they were told to.
Mm-mm. Yeah, see, Elle is that type of person. You don't tell her what to
You
do.
don't know what to do. At least be polite about it, and I'll consider it.
Right, right. You're not the boss of me. Don't tell
You're
me what
not the
to
boss
do.
of me.
Don't tell. I'm gonna wait because there might be, but you're so lucky. But it doesn't have anything really to do with luck. Not
Mm-mm.
in the normal sense that we hear luck,
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah. Because I'll have the agent say, oh, you're so lucky. We miscounted. There's one seat left. I would get versions of that. You're so lucky. And
Hmm.
I would say, thank you. And in my mind, I would know that part of me made it happen, but it was a lot of faith.
Yeah. This is what I have come to know, and you as well, right? And then Sharon and Melissa as well, the other co-host, is that when we live this way for a while,
Hmm.
things just fall into place. That's why we can say, "Well, of course." Of course. It's not that it's luck. It's number one, we have really worked at doing this. We put in
Yes.
the time. We really have the time and the effort. I love time and effort because that's those two words. That's the definition of the word kung fu is time and
Mm.
effort,
Ooh.
right? Yeah, so it's not just about ha ha. You know,
It's
you
not
like
about
to,
busting through the wall to get what you want.
right. It's just putting in the time and effort.
Hmm.
And as for me, as I put in that time and effort for all of these years in watching things happen, or let me put it this way, looking back on my life now and where I am now, but looking back and looking at how all the things that I have gone through have brought me here. And it's like, oh, of course. And how things just play out. And the
Hmm.
things that don't play out, which I thought should have played out, weren't for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
And we don't always need to know. So sometimes you got to let it go.
yeah.
If you don't need to know, you got to let it go.
Yeah. Make up a
There
song.
was a time when, because I'm used to getting what I want, So when I don't, I get a little grumpy and, wonder why. Don't always get to know why. But a recent example was I was intending to go visit my daughter, and it just wasn't working out. The time, the money, the cost of the tickets, this, that, and the other thing. And I even had my bag packed. That's how sure I was going. Didn't happen. Well, on the day I would have arrived, her and her ma'am both got horribly sick with the flu.
Mm,
Day one of me
mm.
arriving.
See,
So, coincidence, luck, fate? Sure.
right? It's like, okay,
All,
got
all
it.
that all that matters is now I know and thank you. But yeah, there was a little stress in there,
Mm-hmm.
in the not receiving
Right,
that which I was intending with an open heart. And then but we don't always get to know why. Just like when we
right,
follow our intuition and the bad thing doesn't happen, we don't know what didn't happen,
right.
and we have to learn to be good with that.
Yeah, yeah. You have to learn to be good with it. Yeah. So in this luck thing, right?
Hmm.
We were speaking earlier about h- how does serendipity play into it? I know that you've already explained in one way, but if we can dive just a little bit deeper into, so what for you, Elle, is what is serendipitous? What is serendipity? Oh,
Yes, such a fun word.
yeah.
There's a great movie, Serendipity, with John Cusack.
Hmm.
If you haven't seen it, it defines serendipity really well. And it also looks a little like fate, like how could this have happened, in a good way. And the thing about serendipity is it goes back to having things on our reticular active. So we are vibrating these thoughts, these intention, these things. And so then when they show up, it's just because we're open to noticing them. So if I'm thinking about going to Jamaica, and then all of a sudden I overhear people at the table next to me talking about how they just got back and some of the highlights and the lowlights. I'm like, wow, what are the chances that somebody was sitting next to me for me to overhear this conversation so I could get more intel on the trip? Serendipity is when you miss the bus and you get on the next one and you sit next to a wonderful person and you start dating, you fall in love.
Yeah,
Serendipity. Why did you miss the first bus?
yeah.
That had nothing to do with vibration, I don't think. So serendipity to me is a little more magical than luck.
Hmm.
I think we create luck. I think serendipity is something that we're open to. You have to be open to it.
You're right. And going with what you just explained there, it takes me back to what we just said about, being in that vibration, that affirmative, positive vibration of this is how I want to live my life, with the highest and best. And then things again, as I like to say, just fall into place. And just,
Mhm.
have a thought about something and then hear someone mention the same thing. It's like, okay, that was very, very serendipitous.
Hmm.
Um, and just watching it, it's life for me is just so freakingly amazing.
Yeah.
It is so amazing to watch, and then also to experience.
Hmm.
My one of my favorite stories currently right now, it has to do with this podcast, it's like, of course, the universe always says yes. Just
Yeah,
real quick, folks, because Elle, she's a part of the story, so she knows.
I
So I
do.
come up with this idea of a podcast. Okay, and I want to have a co-host. Okay, so who am I going to ask? And I have names, but what if they say no? Okay, let me have a backup. Okay, what if she says no? Okay, let me have a backup. Okay, what if they say no? Well, I don't know. So I send out. I don't know why I did this, but I did. Three, I send out emails to all three at the same time. And folks, wouldn't you know that all three said yes? And it's like, okay, now what do I do? And I was explaining that to somebody, and they said, just have them rotate. And so here we are. But the point of the story is, and it's such a beautiful example for me, is that the universe always says yes to me. And
Mhm.
I was explaining that part to someone, and she says, "Yeah, the universe always says yes to us." I'm like, I want to keep it to just me. Yes, the universe always says yes to everybody, but I want to just, the universe always says yes to me
Mhm.
because I think that's important to personalize it. Yes, the universe always says yes to us, I guess, right? But when I say and I step into the universe always says yes to me, oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then now I'm not surprised when things happen. My saying is, and you heard me
Yes.
say it before, right? I am never surprised, but always amazed at how
Yes.
life just unfolds in this beautiful way, in this way that is so filled with serendipity.
Yes. And to layer onto that, um, I think I shared this with you. So the universe says yes to you, and it also, at your request, said yes to me
Yes.
because people kept saying, you should have a podcast, you should have a podcast. Yeah. And oh God, it's time intensive. It's a labor of love. There's way more than just talking to somebody about
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
as you know.
Yeah.
And so I literally said, so if somebody was going to
That's
do
right.
all the work, I would be happy to have a podcast. Well, now I'm co-hosting with you.
Right.
And so to me, the universe said yes, and this is what it looks like.
Right.
And here we are.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's great stuff.
Hmm.
One of the things you said when we were beginning to talk about this from last week, I start to take notes, going back to, and this is the important thing, to layer onto the universe says yes. It's that we make it happen.
Yeah.
So folks really trust that the universe says yes to you, and you want to be definite with what it is that you want to experience,
Hmm.
making sure that it's not just for your highest good, but for everyone else involved.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
important to make sure that it harms no one, because that stuff will
Yeah.
come back and bite you.
Yes. That's why I bless people who are mean to me because I
Yeah,
know the bite is coming and
yeah,
I won't be around for it,
right,
which is
right,
and so when I'm creating my luck by packing the bag and putting it by the front door, which I've done for other amazing trips, I'm imagining going, I'm proving that I have faith that I'm going. And then I imagine being there and doing things in the now in my
right.
imagination. And that's extremely valuable
Yes, it is.
because the brain doesn't know the difference between reality and not in imagination, which is why we thrash when we dream or mumble in our sleep, right? The brain doesn't know. So give it what we want,
Yeah.
you know? And so, okay, Eugene, here we are, some happy, lucky folks. And I'm sure people, if they're still watching, are going, no, you don't know my life.
Mm,
You don't know how ugly, how dark, how
yeah,
trapped, how hopeless. Um, and it breaks my heart because you and I were there.
right,
Neither of us was born into any kind of affluence.
right,
We both are people of color.
right,
Um, and for me, I got out just by modeling people who were doing things that I wanted to be doing. And that wasn't in my neighborhood, in my family, at my school. It was
mm,
more in books that I was reading
hmm,
and funny TV shows where they weren't just making fun of each other for comedy and like Carol Burnett, just the fun stuff.
right,
So, point of the story is one small step you can do to get out of hopelessness is to know that other people have done it. Reach out to you, reach out to me.
Right.
Either of us would be so open
Right.
to starting
Truly.
that conversation with you,
Truly.
to mentor it, to, yeah. And you just have to want it, and we'll help show you how to believe it
Right.
and then live it.
Right. You remind me of something that I'm sure played a vital role in me taking a path or not taking a certain path.
Hmm.
Think I was in probably in the 10th grade in high school, and down the street from the school was a liquor store, and these two old guys would sit outside all day long, just whatever they were doing. Call them winos or whatever. But I remember saying, I will never do that. And
Mm.
alcoholism ran in my family, right? And I was like, I'm that will not be me. And I remember that so clearly. Well, let me say it this way. I had forgotten that until you mentioned what you just did, but that feeling in remembering me saying that way back then, it feels so very real, and because it is, but it was a turning point that didn't even know.
Yeah.
It was a turning point when I said, I'm not doing that,
Hmm.
right? Now, so as life went on, I got into some different things, but I wasn't on the cardboard or the crates, sitting outside of a store. Um,
Hmm.
but but even in those experiences that I knew, no, this is not for me. So folks, you're right. I may not know where you are, but I can tell you where I've been. You know, I've slept in cars. I've had some crazy things, and there's something within each and every one of us that says, no, you were meant for something better than
Yeah.
this. Now, I didn't say greater, just something better than
Hmm.
this. Yeah, and imagination. I want to take it back to that. Imagination is so very key. Man, imagination is so very powerful. Again, as we know, it was Albert Einstein who said that imagination is more important than knowledge. Everything that we can look upon, came from someone's imagination.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Or how about this one? That we've come from something's imagination.
Mhm.
Imagine us in. What? Imagine that.
Good fun.
Yeah, right. But
Yeah.
yeah, but to imagine a life that you would live, if you're not really liking the way life is going for you right now, imagine something better and then feel it,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah. And
But
just
that's
keep doing that every day.
yeah,
1 minute a day, then 1 minute 3 times a day, then
yeah,
morning and night for 5 minutes. You baby step into it.
yeah, yeah.
When you talked about how that helped you kind of turn a corner and you weren't even aware, and then so here's the brain science. When you see something that you find repulsive or like, ugh, not for me, you're telling your brain none of that. So your brain goes, okay, none of that.
Mm,
So sometimes those negative feelings of being repulsed or disgusted or sometimes even fearful help us because when we do it enough, the brain goes, okay, now we're going this way. Whereas if someone walked by and looked at those winos, what someone called them back in the day,
right.
and thought, what an easy life, the brain would go, oh, you want easy?
Hmm.
So there's something in taking a stance when we say no more,
Yeah,
not that,
yeah,
and then doors do start to open.
yeah.
And in some cases, like abusive situations, I know that's not easy because
Right,
you risk being more in danger by taking those brave steps.
right, right.
So
Truly.
let's just start with believing that there's something out there, there's something coming for you, there's a way out.
There is a way out. Yeah. Start with that belief that there is a
Mhm.
way out. Beautiful. Cool. So make it happen.
Make it happen. So Eugene, what's something lucky that's happened to you recently?
Oh gosh.
Mhm.
Lucky. Oh, lucky. But I write living under conscious knowing. Luck,
Mhm.
Luck. Um, well, I have been so there's a conference coming up next month with Centers for Spiritual Living in Reno, Nevada. And when I was with the when I was we're working with them many years ago, and I've been gone now for God, it's been nine years. But when I left them, I really left. No one from there has really heard from me. People like, what happened to Eugene? Um, well, because there was some healing work that I had to do around that, right? Um, and so which I've done and all of that. So I got somebody from the events committee reached out to me to ask if I would lead a half an hour meditation on the first night. I'm like, of course, and I thought
Nice.
that was really lucky, right? Because I wasn't looking for it. Somebody asked if I wanted to, to sign up to do a workshop there. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like doing that with them because
Mhm.
I just don't want to. So within the next week or two, then this comes about. Somebody else said, "Hey, would you mind doing this?" I'm like, "Be glad to." And so I'm looking forward to that because they haven't seen me around in close to 10 years. Wait until they get a load of me.
It's gonna be epic.
Yeah, yeah, I can't wait to go. I haven't been to a CSL convention in since wow, since no, it was since 19.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
so that's about it for me. Well, there's a lot more, but
Oh yeah,
how about well, there's a lot more. There's a
I
lot
know.
more. And
Big
just
and
like
small.
yeah, I just came from a concert where hey, there's this concert, this guy singing, great act. You want to go? Sure. You want front row? Sure. That's
Yes.
how it just flows now.
Hmm.
Went to go see somebody a few weeks ago. Walk in and this singer, just great singer who I've admired for a while now. Front row seats. Like, I love life.
Hmm.
What
And
about you, El? Like I can
I,
keep going.
I say, I love life and it loves me.
Right.
Um, I want to say one thing about what you said.
Okay.
We are often somebody's luck. So at that conference, they wanted something, they
Yeah.
started intending something, they had a desire for something, and that happened to be you.
Yeah. Wow.
And so they feel
Wow.
lucky, blessed, excited.
Beautifully said.
Yeah. So sometimes we are somebody's luck.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I found you.
Right.
You
Wow. Yeah. Beautifully said. Thank you. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. And so we are on hold right now as the wonderful Ell Graniel is taking a moment to take care of
know?
whatever she needed to take care
There
of.
we
And now
go.
she's back.
Mini coughing fit. So lucky for me, again, you lose track and in the moment, grateful every time.
Yeah.
Right. So there is a sense of expectation, and then there's also a giddy happiness that comes with it, big and small. Right. So recently, there was a vendor walking by selling these purses, and I really wanted the black one, but I had zero cash on me. And I kept looking at it and, like, oh, well, I'll see them again. And then I went to the bathroom. And when I came back, the purse was on the table. And I said to my friend, what happened? And she goes, oh, I just bought it for you. I could see how happy it was making you. happy
Yeah.
birthday. I'm like, well, my birthday's in 3 months, or whatever. It's like, and of course, I wanted to pay her back. No, no. And so I've gotten better at this. So before I would have insisting on paying her back, I would have had to have bought something for her equal to the purse price, right? And now it's more flow. I catch
Yeah.
myself. She's saying it was a gift. Happy birthday. I saw the joy that it brought you, you know. And then I saw her on the street the other day. I had the purse on and she goes, "Ooh, nice purse." And I said, "I know somebody loves me." And she just lit up, right? So it kept being reciprocal.
Yeah.
And then even more recently, when I was visiting my sister, I've been needing a new electric kettle because I drink coffee every morning and I love electric kettles, don't like the microwave. And I've been needing one. It's like the time, and I don't know. I'm just like, oh, I need a kettle. And I wasn't doing anything about it except for I need a kettle. That was the
Mm.
only thing I was doing. And it wasn't with the highest vibration, right? And so that's why I wanted to share this story. So I'm visiting my sister, and she had a beautiful electric kettle. I'm like, that's beautiful. I need to make sure I buy one as soon as I get home. I'm prioritizing it. And she said, well, they accidentally sent me two. They told me don't send it back. Do you want the other one?
Let me think about that.
Yeah, still in the box, easily a $60 electric kettle, high
Mm.
end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of stuff people would say, "Oh, you're so lucky. You were talking about needing one and then you got one." And I say, "Yeah." I just say yes
Right.
because there's a place and time to share how to find serendipity, how to be open
Right.
for it, how to be lucky, how to act lucky, how to think lucky. And it's not in every comment of "you're so lucky." We just say
Right.
thanks. It's a
Right.
compliment.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. Yes. Yeah. Oh, great. I think next time I had mentioned, make it happen, but I caught myself because, and I want to talk about this the next time, it's not so much that we are making it happen, let's make it welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because make it happen can feel like there's hard work to it. You gotta make it happen, make it happen. Yeah. So I'm gonna tap into that the next time that we're here on Eugene Holden's Academy of Self Mastery.
Mhm.
And we'll
Wonderful.
we'll see you next time.
Looking forward to it.
Peace.